Good morning. Welcome to my yoga classes here in Central Otago, New Zealand. Today I'm going to take you through what is my sort of 10-minute go-to morning practice routine. Do what feels right for you. And make sure you've got a mat and a nice space to work in, and let's get started. So I always like to start in a child's pose. So I'm going to turn this way because there's a little bit of a slant here in this lovely garden. And I'm going to sit on my knees, just extend my arms forward and let my forehead rest toward the ground. You can have your elbows bent or you can extend your arms forward. You can have your knees together or your knees apart. Allow yourself just to feel the weight of your body supported by the earth. And then bring your attention to your breath. Now, it's easiest to breathe into the back of the lungs in this position. So as you inhale, feel the back expand and stretch with the in-breath. And as you exhale, just feel the belly draw in and the body melt a little closer to the ground. Just taking this first pose and this time to connect to your breath and notice how you're feeling today. Some days I wake up and I'm full of energy and I'm ready for a strong practice. And other days I just feel like a quiet, soft start to the day. So just notice how today is for you. This is going to be a fairly gentle practice. We're going to be holding each pose for about 5 breaths. So let's take one more deep breath in here. And let it go. All right, let's come up onto our hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide underneath your shoulders. Your knees are under your hips. I just do a little gentle cat-cow. So lift the tailbone, gaze forward as you inhale. And then start to exhale and round your back into cat pose. Inhale, feel the hips rise, shoulders draw back. Exhale, draw the belly in toward the spine. One more time. Inhaling and exhaling. So we're going to tuck the toes underneath. We're just going to sit on them for a moment. If this is excruciating, don't do it. But if you are okay, spread the baby toe out. Give yourself a bit of space. We're going to take our hands in front of us and we're going to lift up. Press the elbows back. And as we come down, we're going to bring the elbows together. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, round the back. Gazing up towards the sky. And then exhale down toward the earth. One more time. This is really nice to lubricate the upper back. Beautiful. There we are. And now we're going to bring the hands back to the floor. We're going to tuck the toes under and come into a downward facing dog. So this can be a challenging pose, so make sure that you keep your knees bent and start to slowly walk one heel towards the ground and then the other. Feel like your spine is getting longer with each breath. Let the head rest towards the ground and really activate your arms by pushing through your hands. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. And if you feel like coming into stillness, do that. Inhaling and exhale. Lovely. We're going to walk to the center of the mat. Keep the feet hip distance apart and bend your knees as much as you need to bring your hands toward the floor. So hands are just in front of the feet. Lower the head down and then just feel the hips lifting slightly up as you push into the earth. Now, knees bent will allow most people to be able to touch the floor. Focus on a breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Well done. Now we're going to take the feet a little wider apart, turn the toes out, and we're going to start to bend the knees and then lift the hips. Bend the knees lift the hips. One more time. So depending on how flexible your hips are and how good your knees are, you can just stay here and take a little bend, keep the hips a little higher, or you could drop the hips down and come into Malasana. We're going to take 4 more breaths. Inhale. As you exhale, let the tailbone drop. Inhale, lift the crown of the head. Exhale, just gently pressing the knees a little further apart with the arms. I've got lots of furry bird friends out there today making noise. Inhale and exhale. That's it, lovely. Now come to sit. We're going to take our feet as close to our groin as we can. We're going to hug our knees. Take your left hand around both knees, right hand behind, and do a little twist to the side. Inhale, get a little taller. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's take it to the other side. Grab both arms with one hand, other hand is at the back. Sit up nice and tall on the in-breath, and then exhale to revolve. Really good to do twists in the morning. Excellent for the lower back, giving our internal organs a little squeeze. One more breath in, and slowly exhale. Beautiful. Extend the legs out in front of you. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Place the hands on the thighs and just point and flex your feet. Now these feet are so precious. What could we do with our day if we didn't have them to walk on, right? They don't get a lot of attention. Let's circle them, rotating the ankles around in one direction a few times, and then circle them the other way. Nice, good. Okay, then we're going to place our feet on the floor, hip distance apart. Take our hands underneath our shoulders, palms facing toward the buttocks or to the side of the mat, whatever feels best for your shoulders. And then lift your chest as you gaze up, and then exhale, round your back. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. If it feels okay to do so, you could lift your hips up into the air and bring them back down. Or stay with your hips on the floor. And down, good. One more time, lift. This is excellent for your shoulders. Push through the heels of your feet and hands and release. Okay, we're going to come down to the floor now. We're going to hug our knees into our chest. We're going to extend one leg out and then the other. Now you can keep your head on the floor and just move from side to side, or you could lift your head, gaze between your feet, looking toward the end of your mat. So this is nice to fire up that digestive power, activating the core muscles, lubricating the hips. Just see what feels okay for you today. There we go. Nice. And then we'll finish. We're going to take our knees apart, bring the soles of our feet together, and wrap our hands around the outside edge of our feet. Now I like to just rock from side to side. This is a lovely hip opener. It's called Supine Konasana, or cobbler's pose. So you bend your elbows to bring those heels as close to you as you feel you can, and then just rock. One of my favorite morning exercises. So just notice how it feels in the groin to be here. And remember, every day you get on your mat and do something, you are changing your body. I like to remind my clients that today is the youngest you will ever be. So do as much as you can with this body, this life, this one day that you have to enjoy. All right, lift the legs up. Keep the knees as bent as you need. Take 2 fingers around your big toes and then just bend your elbows. So we're just rocking with our hands, gently pulling our feet towards the head, I guess. Yeah, rocking. Just notice how that feels for you. Okay. Good. Now you can stay with this option here, or you can follow me into another option. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my hands on the floor. I'm going to take my legs out and I'm going to take them up and over my head. Okay, so bring the legs down and then lift up. Now I'm pushing down with my arms, my forearms, my triceps as I do this. This is a Pilates movement that I do. You can lower the legs a little more if that feels okay for your abdominal muscles, and then take the legs. I want the legs to remain parallel to the floor. So exhale as you lift and inhale as you lower. And if that doesn't feel good for your back or your neck, stay with just holding the toes and rocking. We're going to do 2 more. That's it. This is really good for the neck, the vertebra of the cervical spine, the thoracic spine, and also your core. Lovely. And then we're going to stay here. We're just going to hold the hips with our hands to support them. Keep the legs parallel to the floor. Flex your toes toward the ground and feel into your hamstrings. Good. Gazing between your knees. Deep breath in and out. This is our little inversion for the day. Good to get the legs above the heart. All that blood flows down into the thoracic cavity, into the brain. Moving things around. Beautiful. Now we're going to bend our knees and we're going to rock and roll. So, holding the back of your legs, we are ultimately going to come to stand up. So if it's possible for you to stand, go ahead. If not, just help yourself to come up and let's rise. All right, so from here, standing with your feet hip distance apart, take your hands behind your back, interlace them, press them down towards the floor. And then if it feels okay, maybe lift them a little bit away from your back. Just see how that feels. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling. Beautiful. Now, take your hands up over your head, hold on to your right wrist, reach up a little taller, and then lean to the left. Come back up, hold the left wrist, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, lean to the right. These lateral stretches are not something that we do very much, but they're really good for our spine. Really good to stretch the muscles between our ribs so we can breathe in full breaths and just stretch all the muscles down the side of the body. Beautiful. Release. Okay, so the next movement is our final one. We're going to take our hands behind our head, interlace them, let the elbows go back into a gentle extension. I'm going to show you from the side. And then bring your elbows in, tuck your chin, and come into the sort of rounded position. Now we're going to slowly roll down, bend your knees as much as you need to begin to lower your body down towards your legs. Keep the knees bent until finally your chest is rested on your thighs, your head is down heavy, your elbows are close to your knees. And from this position, all you're going to do is lift your elbows and your gaze into Utkatasana, intense pose. Wiggle your toes. Beautiful. And then lift yourself back up. Take your arms out to the side and just imagine that you're turning a door handle. So you've got that door handle, you're rotating it, turning it, opening and closing. This is really good to lubricate your shoulders. Feel your upper back nicely released and open and stretched, and then release the arms. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And just because we can, we're going to do our ha breath to finish. So this is like you're chopping wood. You lift your arms up and you chop down. Yep. And with that, we're going to make a nice ha sound. So inhale, ha, ha. Let your voice express itself, ha. 2 more, ha. If you want to add a bit of balance, lift your heels, ha. Last one, ha. I hope that makes you feel energized and ready for a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining me here in New Zealand in this beautiful little place in the Southern Alps, and I hope to see you again soon. Please send me messages, comments, anything that you would like to share, And I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.